Why are there so many big American software companies like Google, Meta, and Microsoft, but not hardware companies producing physical products? Well, it's because software is the perfect fit for America's philosophy. America's philosophy is that the government is slow and stupid. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help," according to Ronald Reagan. The only thing the government should do is just have a giant military to protect America and bomb poor countries, and that's it. Otherwise, get the government out of the way and let the free market work its magic. The government should not try to, create a long-term plan for the economy. That's communist. That's what the Soviet Union did, and look what happened to them. Well, the problem is that if people in the magical free market want to create hardware companies, they kind of need the government to plan some things. Hardware is really complicated. It has complex supply chains, and it needs a ton of infrastructure. Imagine if you were to try to start an electric car company right now. You'd probably have no idea where to even start, right? How are you going to just build a factory right now? How would you set up an entire nationwide network of charging stations for electric vehicles? This is insanely difficult to do unless you have hundreds of millions of dollars to throw at this like Elon Musk. Well, do you know which country has a ton of electric vehicle startups? China. And it's because the government builds the foundation and takes care of the problems that are too big for any individual entrepreneur to handle. For example, do you as an entrepreneur need cheap energy for your factory? Don't worry about it. We've planned it out and we're generating plenty. Go ahead and build. Need rare earth minerals to build your EVs? Don't worry about that either. The deals have been signed, the processing facilities have been built, and the supply chain for it is domestic and secured. We started taking care of that for you 30 years ago, back when nobody was even thinking about rare earth minerals, back when it was the least profitable thing on earth, where no individual company would bother mining and processing these at a large enough scale for what you guys would need today. Don't have the money to start a company? We have a state-owned bank that'll lend you money for this. With this strong of a foundation, Chinese entrepreneurs can take off and get straight to work on figuring out the creative and innovative side by themselves. China's top-down planning is kind of like if you were to play a strategy game like Civilization. You as the player manage the resources from a top-down level, build a bunch of stuff, and then watch your units grow the civilization. Whereas the American government's attitude is more like, I'm a terrible Civilization player. Any top-down planning I do will just mess things up. Let me just let the little dots on the screen figure it out. Well, if you're an American living as one of the little dots on the screen and there's no infrastructure to help you out, what type of company would you start? Probably a software company. You can start it in your bedroom. You don't need any infrastructure, any supply chains, any raw materials, and you can scale it entirely digitally. Plus, software works great with American culture. American culture strongly values taking action. Failure is nothing, but being too afraid to try is cowardly. Spending too much time overthinking every detail or being too perfectionistic is not a good trait in America. You should just start the company, ship the product quickly, and fix it later. This is the standard philosophy taught at Y Combinator, and software is the one field where you can do that extremely well. It's okay if you launch software that isn't perfect. You can fix bugs digitally and instantly. It's even okay if you're launching software with just short-term profits in mind and have no long-term plan. Software will deliver you results fast if it works, and it'll scale extremely quickly to make you rich. And if it doesn't work, you can scrap it, lose nothing, and try launching another app. Well, the only problem is that it seems like American hardware companies also apply this philosophy, focusing on short-term profits and launching things before they're ready. But this doesn't work with things like planes and cars. You can't fix a car after it's shipped. You do have to get it right the first time. The reason people trust German cars, for example, is because you know that they didn't rush through the process. They took their time to think through every detail.